just thought I'd do a quick post on the progress of David Haye and his rehabilitation of the Achilles heel that he damaged during the Tony Bellew fight. If you want to see more of updates of David Haye's progress, then I'm sure you already know he's posting a lot of things on social media. So if you follow his YouTube channel, for example, or his Facebook and Twitter, you'll see from time to time he'll put a status up showing the progress of his injury and what he's doing in terms of rehabilitation. And the first thing that comes into mind when you think about this is the man's determination. So I've got to give him credit for the determination and heart that he's showing and his desire. A lot of people after the Tony Bellew fight could have just said, you know what, I think it's my time to pack it in. But obviously he didn't want his career to end that way. When he fought Bellew and he was on the floor, he looked really dejected. He looked like he just didn't want to carry on anymore. And it was interesting to see what he was going to say after the Tony Bellew fight. But he seems to have shown this renewed desire to get fully healthy and get back into the gym and fighting fit and to continue his campaign in the heavyweight division. I think a lot of people lost a lot of respect for David Haye during the Vladimir Klitschko fight. After the Klitschko fight, the whole Toegate situation, which I personally didn't lose any respect for him because of the accomplishments that he'd achieved in the cruiserweight division, and you can't just, disregard someone because of a fight or something they say. It wasn't, his best performance, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But they only say you're as good as your last fight, and a lot of people saw the Haye Klitschko fight and were quite disappointed at what had happened, what David Haye had said after the fight. So similar to Vladimir Klitschko situation during his reign as a heavyweight, a lot of people thought that he was boring, and they watched him but didn't pay too much attention to him. But then he had the fight with Anthony Joshua and pulled off a really good performance, and he got a lot more respect in defeat than he did in a lot of his victories. And similarly with the David Haye situation, it looks like he has gained a lot of respect in the Tony Bellew fight, carrying on the way he did, and in his desire to kind of want to go back into the gym as soon as possible and continue his campaign in the heavyweight division. So I think he put a post up of his cast coming off, and then a couple of days ago he put another post up of him doing some exercises, some sort of walking exercises, and looked like he was doing a little dance in the gym. But it looked like he's making a lot of progress. And the video that really caught my attention was the Great Wall of China. I think he posted up a video of him walking the Great Wall of China, and it's like he probably thought, you know what, I need to get some exercise, so I'm going to do something different, enjoy the sights, but at the same time really challenge myself to get this heel ready and come back from the injury as strong as possible. So you've got to respect his determination and heart for wanting to do that. I'm amazed at how quickly the progress he's made. Now, I am not a doctor or a medical person, and I know that some athletes have recovered from similar injuries and are able to return to full fitness and are able to continue in their respective sports. So it's not an impossible task, but at the same time, the progress he's made, I think is really good. It all depends on how bad the heel was and how successful the operation went, but I think he's made some great progress. To see him on the bags, and he posted on the bag a video of him on the bag today. He was quite stationary. Obviously, he can't be as agile and he can't move around as much because of the heel, and he can't put too much pressure on it. But he's still looked quite good and very impressive. So it looks like we may be seeing David Haye return a lot sooner than we expected. The question is, what did we learn from the Tony Bellew fight? Do you think that David Haye should come back and continue at heavyweight, or do you think that he should just, finish his career with the Tony Bellew rematch and possibly get into a trilogy? Because, how good is he going to be at heavyweight? I mean, if he puts on as much weight as he did going into the Tony Bellew fight, I think he looked quite slow, quite clumsy, going in that heavy. So he might want to perhaps go in a little bit lighter if he does get the rematch with Bellew. And, he was winning the fight up until the leg injury, in my opinion. So if he was to sort of come back and come in a little bit lighter and beat Tony Bellew, and, which I think is likely given the fact that he was winning the fight until the injury, his potential trilogy, between the two of them. But I mean, what do you think about the whole David Haye and comeback situation? Do you think that he should just hang up the gloves? Do you think that he can still be a force in the heavyweight division? What do you see? How do you see him against the likes of Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker? How do you even feel a rematch with Tony Bellew goes? Do you think he should hang him up, or do you think he should continue? I personally think he should come back for Tony Bellew because there's some unfinished business there. But against Anthony Joshua and the other heavyweights, how do you think he will go? How do you think the comeback will go? Generally, do you think that the heel will recover well enough for him to compete at that level, or do you think he's going to come back into training and then the same thing's going to happen when he's pushed to his limits? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Thanks.